of the YouTubes, it is I, Sapphire, here once again, a little bit more lively this time around because I got some good, well rest. Yes, oh my god. It is Sunday night. My phone died, I don't know what the time is currently. Probably around midnight, maybe a little bit later. But anyways, I would like to introduce to you some of my favorite video games I like to play. Well, this was suggested by one of my buds that I chat. Excuse me, had something went whack in my eye. Excuse me. But this was suggested by one of my buds that I talk to through YouTube and my lovely Facebooks. Yes, and you know who you is, Mr. Rick. Yes. So I've been thinking about this because I've been playing video games for a good long time, as a lot of people have that nostalgia of of playing that very first video game or that video game you grew up on, and it's just like, that's what sparks you to have the inspiration to want to play and find games that are similar, or just wants you to play games that are along that same realm. You know what I'm talking about, bruh? Well, now, as you may or may not know, well, you know what, you may not know anything because I haven't said anything about it. I do love to play video games. Don't get me wrong, I love it. As for recently, like, new games that are like really, really big and popular right now, I have not got a chance to play it yet because, money, you know, stuff like that. Really good fancy games like that that are really, really, really big now cost a lot of money, and I don't have the money for that. I mean, I just got hired, but maybe I can't afford to do all this stuff now. Maybe even do my own gaming channel. I've been thinking about doing that for a long time now, actually. If you stuck with me this long, you know all about that. But anyways, I really like I like the indie games. I'm really into games that people never really heard of. Don't throw the hipster thing around because I find that really funny. Honestly, I sincerely really enjoy the indie games, games that people probably never even heard about because I grew up with it myself. So let's just cut straight to the point, or cut straight to the chase of my younger childhood of video games. Now, when I was younger, we had this game called Star Gladiator. Star Gladiator. Oh my god, if any of you guys have heard of that game, we're gonna be best friends forever. Star Gladiator is a shoot. Is it Capcom? I believe it's Capcom. 1995, 96, I think. The game is the same age as me. PlayStation 1. It's an early fighting game, like Street Fighter or some Mortal Kombat, along the lines of that. That was the game's prime, was like the fighting games like that. So it's along the lines of that. It's very retro. It's very, your typical cool fighting game. It's oh god, I don't even know how to explain. Like, the soundtrack itself is what really gets me. I really like the unique parts of video games that hit the nostalgia for me, because I remember when I was playing it with my family back when we lived in Texas, and we'd always play this game with my cousin and my younger siblings at the time that were alive, because we have a big family and some of the kids were non-existent at the moment, so it was only a few of us then. But yes, oh god, that's Star Gladiator. If you guys have not seen that game or even heard of it, look it up and listen to the soundtrack. The soundtrack is straight up 90s video game style, but that's why I love it so much. I still have it, but it's somewhere upstairs packed away, and I don't feel like rummaging around for it right now. Anyways, next on my list, the first Resident Evil game. I mean, that's where it all started, right? PlayStation 1. 1996 is where that game came, when that game came out. So, I'm a year older than it. Yeah, I know, I'm a youngin'. The game, it's another very unique game, though, too, where, it's more, cinematic perspective than, your typical first-person type shooter type game. It's, they get very artistical with that game. and they do it from different camera angles, low angles, high angles, of uh, foreground obstruction type thing going on, and it literally throws the mind for a loop though too, because you're like, oh gosh, this scary game, I can't even walk around the corner to see what's going on because of the cinematic value that this camera wants to be. It wants to be very artistic, this game. So I have to go with the flow of how these camera angles are and try and function with the weird controls, because the controls are so weird in that game. It's something to take getting used to. And if you guys haven't played any of the Silent Hill games, that's the same issue, is that it wants to get very cinematic and artistic. That's how the first Resident Evil game is so too. So you gotta, it's either you really love it or you really flippin' hate it. But the storyline is pretty straightforward as well. Voice acting is bad. But the game itself is really cool, and the nostalgia kicks in. It's really creepy. It's still creepy. It creeps the mess out of me. That first Resident Evil game, holy cow, guys. If you haven't even played it, watch the playthrough of it, because it's very unnerving. It makes you want to go like, ooh, oh, that creepy PlayStation 1 game. Oh, the graphics is like so nitty gritty. It's just so, ooh, it gives you the chills. That's why I love it so much. Now, I don't even know if this is considered a platform game, but I flippin' loved Q-Bert when I was little. I was a huge Q-Bert fan. Again, another PlayStation 1 game. It's like, this little round, orange, weird horn mouth little creature that talks like that. Hops around on different blocks and goes in different obstacles, whatever, and tries to save his purple round girlfriend because she got kidnapped by this evil snake guy. So you have to go through all these different obstacles and try not to die so you can go and save her. And save the world, because this evil snake guy was just, I don't know what his big deal was, but he chose to destroy Q-Bert's world, and now Q-Bert's like, I shall avenge my people and find my girlfriend. And that was the issue. And that's the thing. That's the deal. That's what that game is, and it's really cool. It's really fun. That game was good. Now, my last game that I want to bring the nostalgia back is the very first Spyro game. Guys, come on. All that new stuff about Skylanders, is that what it is? And they make Spyro look really creepy and scary. I mean, if you guys like that game, that's cool. That's good for you, But you can't stir away from the classics now. That's the thing about people with video games, movies, and music, is that people don't really pay attention to what started it all, and that's the thing with the Resident Evil game, for example, and the Spyro game. It's literally, that's the game that started it all. Like, again, Spyro, what really attracted me with that game is, of course, dragons. And two, the soundtrack. I don't know. Me, I love music. I love paying extreme itty bitty little detailed things, and something as simple as a soundtrack to a video game that people most of the time don't even really pay attention to. That's what gives the nostalgia for me, is the music for video games. I even have I have the playlist for Star Gladiator saved on my YouTube. I have the playlist for Spyro saved on my YouTube too, and I have some of those songs downloaded on my phone. So then I can listen to it on a daily basis. So, gosh, Spyro, man, again, another PlayStation 1 game. Those, I know there's plenty of other games that I do play all the time, but this video is getting a little bit long. But I wanted to share to you guys about my favorite early PlayStation 1 games that I enjoyed playing when I was little. And if you guys haven't even heard of these, please look them up. Look at the playthroughs, or go out there and buy the game on eBay, or look at your nearest garage store or thrift store. These games are dirt cheap, okay? They're not hard to find. Trust me. I mean, I lost my first Spyro game once before. I went to the garage sale that was down the street from my house, and I found it for $2. $2. How dare they sell it for $2? But I got it for $2, and now I own the game. So, same thing with Star Gladiator. It broke the last time I played it. So now I found it again on eBay for $1. I mean, guys, shoot, these were life-changing games that started the hoopla of video games that we have now. So, man, if you guys haven't heard of them, look them up, play them, get them, whatever. This is childhood I'm talking about, and nostalgia. The nostalgia is unbelievable. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, this little lovely rant of mine. You know, I'm just reliving my childhood. And I'm going to put a link in the description of all the wonderful games that I have listed in the description down below. And I'll link you to some playthroughs. And I'm pretty sure you guys can do your research on your own to try and find where you can buy these games. Okay? Or maybe you guys have them in your mom's basement somewhere, you know, from when you were a kid. In that case, find them and play them. Maybe you have your PlayStation 1 down there. I have my PlayStation 1. It's just sitting out there out in the front room. So maybe I'll go play. I don't think I have to find Q-Bert, but I'll show as heck go play Star Gladiator. So, thank you guys again so much. I really hope you enjoyed this video and maybe reminisced a little bit with me. So, as always, guys, goodbye, auf Wiedersehen, au revoir, adios, goodbye.